Welcome to Week 17 Fantasy Pros. My name is Andrew Erickson. Today we're going to be breaking down my favorite player props for NFL Week 17 on PrizePicks. Again, we went 5-4 last week, looking to bounce back and keep it rolling after the Jordan Addison injury. And again, if you're looking for more picks, check out the Betting Pros PrizePicks cheat sheet, which pulls the highest plus EV plays every single week. Before I get to my plays, if you battled your way this far, you deserve a prize fit for a champion. So why not enter Trophy Smack's Ultimate Fantasy Football Championship Belt giveaway? To qualify, simply subscribe right here to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel and comment on any video this week. This custom championship belt isn't just a reward, it's a testament to your strategic prowess and season-long dedication. Make your victory unforgettable with Trophy Smack's ultimate symbol of fantasy football supremacy. And while you're at it, turn on notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes are up and to claim your prize. Now, let's get to the list of my top 10 player projections for PrizePicks NFL Week 17. Dak Prescott, more than 275.5 passing yards. Dallas hosts the Lions to wrap up the fantasy football season. It's going to be a high-scoring affair at home in Dallas, which is why I love the more than on Dak Prescott's passing yardage this week. The Lions have allowed the second most passing yards to quarterbacks over the last 4 weeks at 281 per game. And Dak has gone over 270 passing yards in his last 5 home games. I like correlating this play with CeeDee Lamb more than 90.5 receiving yards. In those same home games that I talked about with Dak Prescott, Lamb has gone over 100 yards or more in 3 of them. So I like the more than on 90.5 receiving yards for CeeDee Lamb on PrizePicks against the Lions. They rank 5th worst in yards to wide receivers in the last 4 games, allowing 185 yards per game to opposing team wide receivers. They're also the 7th worst defense against slot wide receivers this season, where Lamb runs 60 to 65% of his routes. Jared Goff, less than 261.5 passing yards. Same matchup, but I'm going to the other side with the Detroit Lions passer. Only 3 quarterbacks this year that have faced Dallas have thrown for more than 260 passing yards. Fewer than 200 passing yards per game overall. 8 of the last 12 quarterbacks that they have faced have gone under their projected passing yards total. Jared Goff has thrown for less than 261 yards in 3 of his last 4 games and in 3 straight road contests. With Dallas' biggest weakness being against the run, I think we see less of the Lions throwing the ball with Jared Goff and more rushing the ball with Jahmyr Gibbs to David Montgomery. So I'm going less than on Goff's projected passing yardage prop in Week 17. Looking ahead to Thursday Night Football between the Jets and the Browns, Tyler Conklin, tight end for the Jets, less than 28.5 receiving yards. So Conklin caught 4 passes for 36 yards, 7 targets last week, played 83% of the snaps. However, he cannot be trusted versus the Browns defense that is holding opposing tight ends to the lowest receiving yards per game among all teams this season at just 31.5 yards. Take the less than on Conklin's 28.5 receiving yards prop in Week 17. Fast forwarding to Sunday's action, James Cook, less than 65.5 rushing yards for the Buffalo Bills running back. Look, he's been on an absolute heater since Joe Brady took over as the offensive coordinator, but he's only surpassed 65.5 yards on the ground in 2 of his last 4 games played. He was held to just 56 rushing yards the last time he faced the Patriots early in the year. I think he's going to run into similar challenges this week. The Patriots are the number 1 defense versus the run, allowing under 3.3 yards per carry to opposing running backs. Patriots haven't allowed a running back to hit 55 rushing yards since Week 10. In the last 5 games, they've allowed an average of fewer than 45 rushing yards to running backs. We keep betting the less thans, the unders on running backs facing the Patriots. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Here we go with betting against running backs facing the Patriots. Skipping ahead to a tight end, Trey McBride, over 61.5 receiving yards against the Eagles. McBride was held in check last week with 6 catches for 31 yards on 8 targets, but he still had a 22% target share, and he's still the clear alpha in the Cardinals passing game. So I bet he rebounds versus the Philadelphia Eagles, who rank 27th in DVOA versus the tight end position this season. I like the more than on his 61.5 receiving yards. He's gone at least 60 receiving yards in 4 of his last 6 games played, and the Eagles are allowing exactly 61.5 yards to opposing tight ends over the last 4 weeks. As the number 1 option in this passing game in a pass-heavy game script for the Cardinals, we should expect Trey McBride to eat in this matchup. I also like his quarterback to go over his projected passing yards total. Kyler Murray, more than 223.5 passing yards against the aforementioned Eagles. They're facing the Eagles on the road, which means we're going to see a pass-heavy game script from Arizona against the Eagles' horrible secondary that's allowing the 3rd most passing yards per game to quarterbacks this season. Philadelphia has been a team at home that's been hitting overs left and right games are going over the projected totals, which mean we're going to see passing yards from both sides. So take the more than on Murray's 223.5 passing yards this prop on PrizePicks. DJ Moore less than 66.5 receiving yards. DJ Moore was kept quiet against the Arizona Cardinals with just 3 catches for 18 yards on 6 targets. He got banged up during the game. He was dealing with an ankle injury, so he could just not put the production on the table. And a less than 100% more is going to be tough to trust against a very underrated Atlanta Falcons defense. They've allowed the second fewest receiving yards per game to opposing wide receivers this season. And DJ Moore has actually gone less than 66.5 yards in back-to-back games. So I'm going to be fading DJ Moore this week, even at home against the Atlanta Falcons. A receiver I'm not going to be fading this week, looking for the more than on his projection, Chris Godwin, more than 61.5 receiving yards. Look, Mike Evans was the top receiver last week, caught 7 balls for 86 yards and scored 2 touchdowns on 8 targets. Chris Godwin, he had 78 yards on 6 catches on a team-high 11 targets. Now, Godwin has been no stranger to leading the team in targets, especially over the last 3 weeks, when he's posted target totals of 11, 12, and 11. He has 53-plus receiving yards in all 3 of those games, which is why I love the more than on his 61.5 receiving yards number this week on PrizePicks. The Saints are a slot funnel defense, allowing more than twice the production to slot wide receivers than to ones on the perimeter. Godwin also blew up the first time that these teams played each other, going for 114 yards on 11 targets and 8 receptions. So the Saints are playing at home. I still like the Tampa Bay matchup here, especially for Chris Godwin in the slot. Last but not least, George Pickens, less than 52.5 receiving yards. Look, he was a monster producer the last time we saw him play on Christmas Eve. 4 catches for 195 yards and 2 touchdowns, but only on 6 targets for a 22% target share. So now the vast majority of his production came on 2 big plays. One was a downfield shot from Mason Rudolph, and one was all yards after the catch. Therefore, I'm opting to shoot for the less than on Pickens' receiving yardage in Week 17, playing against a much tougher matchup in the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are tougher defense versus perimeter wide receivers, ranking top 10 in fewest fantasy points allowed versus 4th most against slot wide receivers. And over the last 2 weeks, Seattle has also done a great job of limiting opposing wide receivers to just 87.5 yards total, which is 4th fewest over that span. A couple weeks ago, A.J. Brown just got 56 yards against them. So again, George Pickens not nearly the same player as A.J. Brown. He's a boomer bust wide receiver that's going to struggle more on the road this week. So I'm going to go less than 52.5 receiving yards for the super polarizing wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's going to tie a bow on my favorite PrizePicks selections for Week 17. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and share with all your friends so you guys can all have profitable NFL Sundays. And be sure to check out the Betting Pros PrizePicks cheat sheet to find more plus EV plays in Week 17. And before you go, again, if you've battled your way this far, you deserve a prize fit for a champion. So why not enter Trophy Smack's Ultimate Fantasy Football Championship Belt giveaway? To qualify, simply subscribe right here to the FantasyPros YouTube channel and comment on any video this week. This custom championship belt isn't just a reward. It's a testament to your strategic prowess and season-long dedication. Make your victory unforgettable with Trophy Smack's ultimate symbol of fantasy football supremacy. And while you're at it, turn on notifications so you can be alerted when our new episodes are up and to claim your prize. Thanks for watching and good luck in Week 17.